Hello. Good evening, sir. I'm Mel Cabaras from Pageant, Toronto. My question is for Mr. Alexander. Sir, I just want to ask, what makes Universal Woman unique from other pageants in the world?
I will translate for Alexander.
Lo que hace diferente
What makes Universal Woman different?
lo que hace diferente, sinceramente, es que somos personas, cada uno, la organización está compuesta por individuos.
Everybody that's part of the organization in Universal Woman,
Cada quien tiene sus ideas,
everybody has their own ideas,
pero conectamos con el corazón y la mente para dar lo mejor de nosotros. No buscamos ser el mejor.
but we connect with our hearts and our minds to give our best, not to be the best, but give our best.
Precisamente ahora mismo queremos llevar un mensaje.
Precisely right now, we want to share a message.
Yo no tengo problema de nombrar a ningún certamen porque gracias a todos los certámenes con los que he trabajado,
I have no issue of naming any other pageants because thanks to those pageants that I've worked with in the past,
como asesor de imagen,
as image consultant,
soy Alexander González en el mundo.
I am Alexander Gonzalez in the world.
Y la idea es esa, no tener miedo de nombrarnos, sino de aplaudir los logros de cada
And
persona.
the idea is that to not be afraid to name them or other pageants, but to applaud what they can achieve and what they do.
Cuando las compañías entendamos
When companies understand
que tenemos que prestar un servicio
that we have to offer a service
de amor y de unión,
that comes from love and unity,
es cuando realmente vamos a hacer un mundo mejor.
is when we truly will be able to build a better world.
Universal Woman está feliz de crecer día a día, viendo tantos maravillosos concursos como Miss Universo, Miss Mundo, Miss International, Miss Grand.
Universal Woman is extremely happy to continue growing, seeing also the success of other pageants like Miss World, Miss Universe, Miss Grand, Miss International, Miss Earth, like many others.
Esa es la idea.
That's the idea.
Somos una familia.
We're a family.
Gracias.
Good evening. My name is Jay Pataw. I'm from Malaya Business Insight. I'd like to ask first Alexander and Valentina. Valentina is the first winner. So please tell us more about the pageant, its very young history, and the mission and the vision, the purpose why you put up this pageant.
Tito J.
Casualmente, hace 4 años, más de 5 años,
A little over 5 years ago,
se creó el certamen,
we created the pageant, Universal Woman.
pero vino la pandemia.
But the pandemic happened.
Todas las cosas que algunas personas ven mal, nosotros lo tomamos como positivo.
All of the things that we could have taken as something negative, we tried to take them as something positive that was happening.
Estos 4 años nos hizo entender qué queremos.
Past 4 years made us understand what we truly wanted to get out of Universal Woman.
Queremos mujeres como Valentina, como María, como la que está aquí sentada, mujeres reales.
We want women like Valentina, like Maria, like all the women sitting here tonight, real women.
Eso es lo que estamos buscando con Universal Woman.
That's what we're looking for with Universal Woman.
Mujeres bellas de adentro y que transmitan hacia afuera todo lo bello que puedan transmitir.
Women who are beautiful on the inside and share that beauty with the world.
Thank you.
Speaking of sharing, can you tell us about your philanthropic endeavors?
Absolutely. So I'm going to talk about my personal one, and then we'll talk about what we're focusing on this year with Universal Woman. I've been doing pageants since I was 15 years old, so it's been a while. And since that first pageant that I decided to do, I realized that this was truly a trampoline that could allow me to share important messages with the world, social causes that were important to me. And when I was 16 years old, just a few months after I decided to join pageants, I lost my grandmother and my mom to suicide after battling bipolar disorder. And obviously at that age, you're very young, you just lost your mom, and I kind of found refuge in pageantry, a way to distract myself. And after a couple of months, I realized that I could turn that into something more. Because the more I talked about what had happened to my mom and my grandmother, the more people I realized were dealing with certain similar situations. I think we really haven't taken mental health and suicide as seriously as we should. I think the pandemic, in a way, was something good that we took out of it, was the fact that now we feel more comfortable talking about mental health and being vulnerable and our struggles, which is, I think, part of human nature. So since that year, that was 2012, I decided to use pageantry as a platform to share my message, to share the story of my mom and my grandmother in a way to honor them, but also to help the millions of people who are struggling with mental health, with anxiety, with depression, suicidal thoughts. And throughout all of my years doing pageants, that's what I've tried to do, the message that I've tried to share. And like I said, after thinking that I had closed that chapter with my last pageant, this opportunity presented itself, and I found that it was the perfect platform that I had been looking for to continue sharing that message. This year, Universal Woman is partnering with Mission, which is a nonprofit organization based in Italy, and we are going to be working with doctors who are in various different parts of Italy and work with kids who live under very difficult conditions that require their moms to take care of them and being caretakers 24/7. So that is the social program that we want to implement and share with our candidates for this year. And of course, once we have our second winner, we will do our best to celebrate whatever platform or whatever social cause she chooses to develop throughout her reign.
Thank you very much. And one question for Maria. Yes. The last time I interviewed you, I asked about how you handle pressure in the national pageant. This time around, you are going to Cambodia. What do you have in store to offer on the table when you arrive in Cambodia?
I love that question. Thank you so much. I think last time you asked me how I handle pressure. I would say that my life has given me enough challenges to understand that diamonds are truly made under pressure. It is pressure that's allowed me to come up with my finest work. I'm lucky enough to work with people with such high standards, and to meet the challenge to meet their expectations is, I believe, what is the biggest opportunity that I have to create that opportunity and then to fill in, to see. It's an opportunity to believe in myself, to see what I have and what can I do with it. And there's one person that I'd really like to thank for encouraging me and pushing me to tell my story, even the things that I thought people would not like or would not be able to relate to. This man, which without I wouldn't be here today with a crown, this man has believed in me since the day that I stepped off the Miss World stage. I thought I had broken all my dreams, and yet in the 2 years that I have worked with him, Sir Arnold has never failed to believe in me. He's always pushed me that one step forward. Yeah, so thank you, Sir Arnold, and my entire ALV Talents family. Without saying too much, I will say that now more than ever, I am more myself. Like you taught me, not to be scared, not to be afraid, not to not to shrink myself into a version of perfect that I think others would believe. So now I will tell my story in its entirety, because I believe that my story in some way, shape, or form reflects the struggles and the trials and tribulations of every Filipino. We may talk about all the other different problems that face the world, but the truth is, we don't talk about our identity enough as a people living in an archipelago, separated and connected by the waters and islands that give us life. So I think that's something you have to look forward to, the story of the Filipinos. And I hope that answers your questions.
I'm Tristan Francisco from the Philippine Pageantry. First, bienvenido, Señorita Valentina and Señorito Alexander. Senor Alexander, mabuhay and welcome to the Philippines. With your last word, with the last question asked to you by Senor J. Pacao, how would you describe, or what is a universal woman? Because this is the first time that we're going to have a representative. So, can you tell us about the requirements, the qualifications? What or how should a universal woman be? Is she a natural woman? Can she be married? Does she have an age limitations, etc.?
The requirements for universal woman were very different last year. Now this year, other platforms have decided to implement those changes as well. We're looking for women between the ages of 22 and 45 years old. They can be married, divorced, they can be mothered. We accept transgender women as well. We do not require them to have previous experience in other pageants. What we are looking for truly is a person that wants to share her story, who has made the decision to be true to herself and show that essence to the world, a person who understands the power that a crown gives you and the sash gives you, and chooses to utilize that power to share important messages. A person who wants to be a spokesperson for different social causes, and of course for all of the sponsors who make Universal Woman possible.
Okay, and that's it changes as you have mentioned because of the other pageants. Is that what you're saying?
No. Actually, since the beginning, which was last year, our first edition, those have been the requirements. So nothing has changed. Those have been the requirements since day one.
Yes, and it would be a great honor for the Philippines to follow after Venezuela in becoming the second universal woman. Would that be okay, Senor Alexander?
Well, I know that would be incredible, especially for the fans, because we're like sisters in the pageantry world. I feel like how Alexander was saying, and I feel the same way since we landed this morning. I have felt at home, even though I had never been here before, but I think it's because we feel
for we're families.
Yeah, we feel
so it's okay
close.
to just
Absolutely.
give the crown to your new sister.
Oh my goodness. The important thing is always going to be that she does an excellent job, which
She will.
I'm sure she will, and just make the jury fall in love with you. Arnold and Alexander have been judges in many different pageants, and they understand how it works and what they look for.
Very recently, a very controversial international pageant has been making the media rounds with regards to integrity, scandal, and also things that would define what real pageantry is. So, where do you stand on this?
Cada quien, cada ser humano, todos los seres humanos, todos los que estamos acá,
Every human being, everybody in this room makes mistakes.
levante la mano la persona que aquí no está haciendo.
Raise your hand if you've never made a mistake in your life. I don't think any of us can.
No major mistake.
You know?
Entonces,
So,
entonces hay que apoyar, hay que seguir apoyando las cosas positivas.
We have to continue supporting the positive things that pageantry and other pageants and platforms are doing.
Vamos a aprender de las cosas negativas,
Let's learn from those mistakes and from those negative experiences,
no para ser el mejor,
not to be the best,
para dar lo mejor de mí.
but to give our best.
Very well said. And thank you for that answer. Question for Miss Maria Gigante. Yes. As you were asked by Mr. Pato about what you're going to bring on the table, but if and when you become the second universal woman, how are you going to elevate the pageant, the title, and the world of pageantry with regards to what's been happening around us now?
I think that simply continuing to exist is the perfect testament to the values that Universal Woman upholds. As long as there is a pageant that exists and advocates true and genuine inclusivity, and then we can believe that the world is truly a diverse place. This pageant, I did not hesitate at all. I've been asked by people close to me, why did you not ask for my advice when I was offered an appointment? Because I did not hesitate. I have the values that are represented by Universal Woman are the values that I have held close to my heart. And if I have ever hesitated to do anything in life, it is because I did not see those values represented. So the moment I saw what Universal Woman was all about, saw Valentina, there was really no more deliberating to be done. This is what I want to do. I believe this is the path. This is the way to truly empower other women. My entire stint in pageantry is dedicating to pulling other women up. And I do completely agree that we should learn from the mistakes of others and ourselves. I myself am not perfect, and we all know that, right? Exactly. So let's support and even push the boundaries further of what inclusivity can continue to become with Universal Woman. Thank you.
That is your Universal Woman 2024. My last question would be for Mr. Arnold Vegafria. It's mentioned that transgenders are welcome to join Universal Women. What will be your policy regarding this? Are you going to allow trans females to join Universal Women in the future?
Of course, as part of the requirements of Universal Women. So this is a good platform to all transgender who wants to join. And it is a very prestigious pageant. And you know, the people behind here are the respected people in the pageant industry. One of them is Alex. Everyone knows in the pageant industry, Alex Gonzalez and Antonio Salazar. He's one of the respected people in the pageant industry. And of course, Carolina, the chairman of the Universal Woman. So I believe the people behind it, and I believe this is their second year. That's why a lot of national directors from different pageants are really joining now. As a matter of fact, they started with 20s, now more than 68, turning to 70 who's joining for Universal Woman this coming next month in Cambodia. So it's like the people who are behind it. You have to believe who are the people behind it. You have to believe with their advocacies. You have to believe of what they really want. What kind of woman that you want to represent for their organization. And I believe that this organization will go places because the people behind it and the advocacy is far different from the others.
Wow. That's a very good answer, sir. Regarding your allowing trans females to join Universal Women Philippines, will you be requiring them to have legal documentation of their new gender, or is it okay for them to have their unchanged gender, their original documents, as long as they're genuine trans females?
There is no such thing as the requirement. It's just as long as you are a transgender or trans woman, even you don't have the papers, that you are legit trans woman or a change of, as long as you represent, you know, that like anyone,
Yes.
a trans woman who wants to be, who has the dream to become a beauty queen. So I think this is their platform. So they can join and be part, and they can be a winner. Even you are a married woman, you can be a winner. So there is no such thing as, you know, definitely, as long as you qualify to be a winner, you can become a universal woman.
Wow, so that's a big news for our trans PI beauty queens or want to be beauty queens. As a last question, you win some, you lose some. What can you say about the Rigodon of franchises in Philippine pageantry?
Based on my experience, I dropped some. I dropped two crowns. It's not. Yeah, it's my personal opinion. I have to choose. Yeah, I cannot.
Hindi na ba mainit? Kasi drink up mo na eh.
It's not that. The reason why I dropped some crowns is because number one, of course, your relationship with the organization. You have to maintain a very good relationship because it's like a family. What you said. If you're a national director, you have to have a good relationship with the main organization and not with the international organization because you have the same line of work and you have the same concept and you have the same advocacies. You have to believe also with their advocacy that they are really implementing their advocacies and their, and I can feel that I have to choose the best. Even it's just new, even it's just a new organization, but I know they started also with new, they just also started with a new organization. But this one, let's give chance. Who are people that I know I can work with and I can promote my candidate and I can promote the organization in our country. And I believe also that they have to have a good advocacy. They have to have a charitable persona. And it's not only just a show or a glam or just to make money. I want to have an organization who has a big heart. So who's willing to help, not only will be the voice of the organization. And that's why sometimes you really have to choose which is the best for your national organization.
So you're like having more space for bigger pageants, parang gano'n.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you and welcome to the Philippines.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Franz Ivan from Mars, France. First of all, I'd just like to welcome Valentina and Sir Alexander here in the Philippines. As we say, it's more fun in the Philippines. And now it's Love Philippines. So, Valentina, my question to you is, if I am a 13-year-old girl who happens to meet a universal woman, what would be your definition of a universal woman queen?
I think the universal woman is a role model that we as parents would want our kids, our little girls to have, but also a role model that they know they can become, that it doesn't feel unattainable, because at least when I was little, I think many of us had role models who seemed like they were out of this world and impossible to achieve, or on a level that was impossible to get to. And I think for a while, pageantry or beauty queens were like that. It was just beautiful women who were so perfect that didn't even seem real. And I think that in the past 5 years, pageantry has truly changed, and it has become something that inspires, but also makes little girls realize what they're capable of. And so if there's any message that I wish little girls and teenagers can take away from my year and the reign of the next universal woman, is that all of these women that they admire, that can be done in the future as long as they work hard. And I think make education a priority. Many girls think that if they want to get into modeling, they need to put education on the side and focus 100% on that. And there's nothing further from the truth. I think that education is key to independence, to truly understanding what you're capable of, and also understanding that you can get there by working hard and surrounding yourself with the right people. So I do hope that's a message that little girls get.
Thank you. And I'd just like to take this opportunity that hearing your stories, like 30 minutes ago, you inspired me with regards to your backstory.
Thank you.
And last question for our representative, Maria Gigante. Gigantic since 2016 here. So finally, you represent our country. I know that parang ang haba ng process na to, but you deserve this recognition right now, Maria.
Thank you.
My question to you right now is, what is your mindset right now?
I honestly, it's a mix. I would like to say that there's a saying that goes that everything happens in God's perfect timing. And I believe that that's true. As I was talking with Valentina earlier, we were saying how in our early 20s we felt like we were already adults, right? But oftentimes we manifest too hard and we state who we are and we say it again and again, and we force the universe to believe when in fact we should be asking, am I ready? Is this the path I should be on? Because the universe gives us signs. We can read it. That is the mindset that I'm in. I'm just in a state of openness and acceptance, open to learn, open to make mistakes, and most importantly, open to breaking the barriers that have existed and come before us. I think that's what a universal woman is all about, and I believe that that's what I now have this moment for. So I hope that I have your trust and your support, Philippines, and of course, of all the gigantics, so that you can lend me your voices and we can speak as loud as we possibly can. We are here. We have a message to say, and we are not looking back. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much and congratulations, Maria.
Hello, good evening to everyone. This is Jake from Pageant. I just would like to ask first the National Director of Universal Women Philippines, Sir Arnold Vegafria. Sir, what is the main reason why you accept or you accept the franchise of this competition or pageant?
Number one, I know the people behind it. They're good friends, and those are people that are respectable in the pageant industry, like Antonio and Alex. I know that they've been in the business in the pageant industry for so long. And number two, I like the motto of Universal Woman, which is redefining the beauty and the diversity and inner strength. So these are the things that we are looking for. I'm looking for someone who can speak. I know that we have Filipino beauty queens, like Filipino beauty queens are known for not only for beauty and glam, but they're also beauty and brain. So that's what they're looking for. Someone who has the perfect epitome of a beauty, brain, and who can represent, who can speak in behalf of their organization. And I'm sure that I'm positive that I have there's a Filipina who will get the crown. And then that's why when they offered it to me, I thought several times, right? What crowns that I will going I don't want to say the drop, to put aside and then change. And we did not renew. I did not renew some, but I want to get the best. Another new organization that I think will be the future and will become the best organization. And I know that I have candidates that I can, that we can represent the Philippines, which I definitely, from the very beginning, when she joined Miss World Philippines 2022, she is one of my favorite already. I know she can represent our country very well, and I'm sure that she will bring home, the first Miss Universal Woman. So that's why I've been looking for what crown I can give to her. So this is now the right time that I have a new pageant that Maria can be represent for the Philippines.
Thank you so much. Another follow-up question, sir. Now that you have successfully acquired this pageant, will we be expecting staging on the next year, or is it included on your ALV pageant?
Yeah, there will be Miss Universal Woman will be on June, back to back with Miss World Philippines together with Universal Woman. And then in July we have the Miss Grand with Reina Hispano-Americana and Miss Philippines Philippines.
Alright, thank you so much. And my next question is of course our reigning Miss Universal Woman, Valentina Sanchez. Hello dear, welcome to the Philippines and mabuhay.
Thank you.
It's nice to see you and you look so gorgeous tonight.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Valentina, what is your most memorable journey here at the Miss Universal Woman?
Oh, actually, just a few hours ago, Maria asked me which had been my favorite place out of all the countries and cities that I've visited this year, and I really could not just pick one because I feel that we have taken something special from each one of those places. But I think the most special thing that I take away from this past 13 months is definitely the people that I've met. I have had the chance to travel the world, and I've always felt that we're all citizens of the world, and this year truly showed me that it is. And you know, I feel that when you have an opportunity like the one that I had to get to see different realities that people from all over the world live, the way they think, the traditions that they have, what they believe in, you open your mind and begin to understand really how beautiful the world is and how beautiful diversity truly is and what it brings to the table. So I think, of course, we visited so many beautiful places and we've been to incredible events, but I think the people that we've met in all of those little parts of the world is what really made my year so special.
Thank you so much. And my next question is to Señorito Alexander Gonzalez. I have only one question for you, sir. Okay. Do you find
Todos somos bellos.
We're all beautiful.
There's so much.
Why no? Why not?
Alright, my question for you, Señorito Alexander. What comes first in your mind when you heard about Philippines?
En mi familia.
In my family.
Sí, porque es que tengo tantos buenos amigos filipinos.
Because I have so many really good friends from here, from the Philippines.
Cada vez que yo veo a Arnold es un abrazo de hermandad, de hermanos.
Every time I see Arnold, we hug each other like we're family.
Yo recuerdo que desde pequeño,
Since I was very young,
que seguía los concursos de belleza.
when I started following beauty pageants,
Mi padre, que es español,
my dad, who's Spanish,
él siempre me decía, pon atención en la mujer filipina, la candidata filipina,
he would always say, pay attention to the woman from the Philippines
porque son muy bellas.
because they're so beautiful.
Y yo crecí con eso y he tenido la suerte
I grew up thinking that way, and I've been lucky enough
de no solamente ver la belleza física,
to not only see in person that physical beauty,
sino esa belleza integral que tienen todos ustedes.
but also the inner beauty that all the people from the Philippines have.
Afortunadamente nos parecemos los venezolanos, yo soy español venezolano,
Fortunately enough, I believe that we're very similar to each other. He's Venezuelan and Spanish, and he believes that we're very similar in our culture.
y puedo sentir eso. Tengo no amigos, lo vuelvo a repetir, tengo hermanos filipinos.
And so I can definitely feel that. I have, again, like I said, very good friends that I consider brothers. For me.
Gracias por tu pregunta.
Thanks for your question.
And of course, my last question is our very own Miss Universal Woman Philippines, Maria Gigante. Hello, dear. It's nice to see you.
Good to see you.
All right, Maria. Could you tell us about the story? Why did you accept the appointment of Miss Universal Women Philippines?
Oh, I would love to. I've been dying for one of you to ask me this question. But so I was actually my project this year. I was very excited to see Sir Arnold's new vision for Miss World Philippines, and we were actually on a very interesting flight together when he brought it up. And yes, Iloilo, the first leg of Miss World Western Visayas. And it was, 5 a.m. in the morning? 5 a.m. in the morning. Before I had left for Christmas, I asked him a question. And I said, no, I'll focus on hosting. And then I returned and I congratulated him. Sir, congrats on acquiring a new franchise. I think everybody's so curious. And he said, you should go. I said, but sir, I have moved on. I'm not for pageants anymore. I'm not ready. I don't think it's in my heart to compete in any franchise that exists currently in the Philippines, right? This is what I pray. Of course, I pray. Every time when I pray, I always think to myself, like, I might not have achieved my dreams in pageants, but I hope that someday an opportunity will come along for me to be able to kind of stretch out my limbs and really show what I'm made of and how much I can help the Filipinos, because I've learned so much in my job, in my career. And when Sir Arnold told me about Universal Woman, the first thing I did was search it on Instagram. And I got to know Valentina and the pageant. I got to read all about it and see all of the intro videos of the candidates. And I thought to myself, wow, these women are amazing and I would be honored to even stand among them. We have ladies who've competed in Universal Women who are not only working as models but have addressed the hunger in their villages by teaching their villages how to farm food directly. And immediately I thought about my community in Bantayan Island that I have with Gawad Kalinga for the past, I believe, 10 years now? 9? This community, I've been a volunteer since I was a teenager, and it has been so hard to teach people about sustainability and to embrace it, what the habit, the ethic of sustainability is really all about. And lo and behold, after the pandemic, when I had joined Miss World, I contacted one of my point persons in the community, and I asked them, hey, what's happening? Like, are you guys still using all of our equipment? Are you still teaching lessons? We teach for Alexander and Valentina, who I just met today. I have a skills-based caravan that I started with my organization that I volunteer with, Gawad Kalinga, where we teach women and children sometimes, if they like, basic skills for extra income. So we have pattern making, lace making, we also have haircuts. However, unfortunately, the mentor has passed away. Rest in peace, Sir Bebes Garcol, a very great tailor. But I think this was my effort in making my craft something that could help my community. And I thought immediately, this is the platform on which I want to tell their story. These women are amazing. After the pandemic, they came up with a program that gives incentives to the youth for whoever can get their household to convert into using sustainable materials. So today, this workshop currently fashions burlap and fabric sacks, what is used in the restaurants of Bantayan, which is an area that is like highly touristic because we are a wilderness protected area. We have beaches, we have natural resources, and so they come, and that really did so much for our tourism industry. But now we have another problem, right? Our solid waste disposal. And so this workshop is a problem to address how to reuse and upcycle those fabrics. And I think that Universal Woman, sorry, I'm talking on and on and on, but this is what happens when you ask me about my advocacy, guys. You know the drill. But really, this is an excellent platform to tell their stories. And I also want to bring into Universal Women the work that I've done with Impact Circle. Impact Circle is actually a private Japanese organization that I encountered after the wrath of Odette in my hometown in Cebu City. I'm sure you probably have heard of this typhoon and its international name, but what it did basically was all of our fishermen lost their boats, completely gone. And our livelihood, a huge percentage of the Philippines thrives off of the ocean. What Impact Circle did is that it reached out to communities, particularly in the island of Olongapo, in coordination with Mayor Ahong Chan, and we they subsidized the rebuilding of 150 fishing boats, which they then distributed to the communities. And by community, I mean everyone who was qualified and registered in the Bureau of Fisheries. I think that is a project that is accessible, sustainable, doable, and concrete. And it ticks all the boxes for me, something that truly deserves exposure. So I think that together with Impact Circle and Gao Kalinga, amazing. It's just amazing. Why I'm telling you the story is because learning the stories of these women is what gave me the idea, maybe it's time to come back. Maybe this is the time that I am ready. Because now I fully understand that it is not about me. It is about the community I represent and the values that I want to see in the world that we are building in the future. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much and congratulations in advance, dear.
Thank you. Short story will be on my Instagram. Thanks.
Good evening. I would like to ask Maria. Yes. You mentioned a while ago about empowering a woman. As a universal woman, beauty queen, how can you empower other people and be a voice to the voiceless?
Thank you. I believe that empowering other women lies in encouraging them to be genuinely themselves. I was asked by Rihanna earlier, actually, in my room, what makes a universal woman? And it pushed me to think. I believe a universal woman is somebody who acknowledges diversity, that there is power in that diversity, someone who promotes the respect for our differences and who is able to harness that power into allowing us to work as a unit, as aggregates to a whole, and push our community forward. That, I believe, is how I can be the voice to the voiceless. As you know, I wear many hats. I have my toe in many communities, in creatives and in community development. And I believe that these experiences have equipped me with the knowledge, not just in theory, but in practice, of how I can truly communicate the struggles of our community and find proactive solutions in solving them. Thank you.
Hi, Sir Alex. Hi, Valentina. Nice to see you again. Yeah. But this is just a light question. It's pageant season here in the Philippines right now. There's so many pageants that our national pageants are starting to gear up for their respective editions this year. We're very focused on it right now. So my question is, the pageant will be happening next month. Why do you think Filipino pageant fans in us, pageant media, should pay attention and follow the upcoming Miss Universal edition in Cambodia? What surprises? What do you guys have in store for us?
Bueno, ya afortunadamente tú has tenido la oportunidad de estar cerca de nosotros.
Fortunately, you've had the chance to be very close to us while working in Cambodia.
Te invitamos a la press conferencia de Cambodia, ¿verdad?
Yeah, you had the opportunity to be there for the press conference.
Compartiste con nosotros.
You shared with all of us, with all of the team members.
Y pudiste ver de primera mano quiénes somos.
And you could see firsthand who we are.
Somos personas como tú, como cualquiera de los que están aquí sentados, soñadores.
We're people like you, like everybody sitting here. We're dreamers.
Yo amo los concursos de belleza.
I love beauty pageants.
Y eso es lo que yo quiero mostrarle a la gente, la pasión que cada quien tiene por hacer su trabajo.
And that's what I want to show the world and all of you, misólogos, fans in the Philippines and all over the world, to share that passion.
Yo comencé como un misólogo, viendo concursos de belleza.
Yeah, that's how I started. He was a misólogo when he was a little younger than he is now.
Como asesor de imagen.
As image consultant.
Ahora he trabajado con diferentes políticos a nivel internacional.
Now work with politicians from all over the world.
Con poderosas mujeres.
And very powerful women.
Y con reinas que han ganado Miss Universo, como Maria Vega,
beauty queens who have won Miss Universe, like Maria Vega.
Y recientemente tuve 3 finalistas de Miss Universo.
And recently I had 3 first runner-ups at Miss Universe.
Pero no lo digo así como para, Alexander, qué grande. No, lo digo es para que vean que queremos darle lo mejor a las personas que vengan al concurso, a disfrutar el concurso.
And I say that just so you guys can understand that that's what we want to offer all of you. We want to give you the best.
Eso es lo que queremos.
Gracias. Can I make a follow-up question? What are the chances that Maria Vega and those 3 runners-up you mentioned earlier would race?
What are the chances that they would what? Oh, ¿cuáles son las posibilidades de que alguna de ellas vaya?
Casualmente Julia Gama,
Actually, Julia Gama will be there.
mi Brasil que preparé para Miss Mundo,
She was Miss Brazil that he prepared for Miss World,
y luego trabajé con ella para Miss Universo.
and then worked with her to go to Miss Universe, and she was first runner-up.
Hoy en día es una celebridad tanto en China como en Telemundo.
Nowadays, she's a celebrity in China, but also for Telemundo.
Está trabajando con nosotros este año y va a estar allá.
She's working with the Universal Women Organization this year, and she will be there in Cambodia.
Thank you so much. We can't wait to see what you have in store for us.
Gracias.
Hello. Mabuhay, soy Nadia Lopez. Desde Pageant. Bienvenidos en Filipinas, Rivera, Gonzalez. So, my question is, aside from the pandemic that challenged you establishing this pageant, what other challenges did you have when you established this pageant?
Todos los días se presentan obstáculos.
Every day, there's an obstacle that we must overcome.
La idea es que cuando tienes algo en mente,
The idea is that when you have something in mind,
te levantes todos los días con las ganas de hacerlo.
you get up every single day looking for the strength to do it.
Que nada nos distraiga.
Don't let anything distract you from that goal.
No solo es la meta,
It's not just the goal,
es todos los días aprender para llegar a alcanzar esa meta.
it's the way and it's the path that you have to take to get there. Muchas gracias. Gracias.
For Maria, maayong gabi, Maria.
Maria Gigante.
Yes. How would you compare yourself from your? How would you compare yourself from the 2016 version?
Oh my goodness, who was she? Yeah? I think when I was in 2016, I believe you're referring to me and Binibining Pilipinas, right? Funny, I was just telling Valentina about that. I thought I was there. I thought I was, if you were to put it in Pokemon terms, I thought I was fully evolved, you know?
Yeah.
Like this was it, this is the final stage, this is the best. Lo and behold, I was only beginning. It was only the beginning. Life has put me through so much since then. And I've been blessed enough to have a batchmate, to have batchmates in Binibining Pilipinas that are with me almost on a daily basis. Ladies and gentlemen, Rihanna, she was a baby in our batch. And she is also very different since that day, since Binibining Pilipinas days. I think I'm very much more mature. When in 2016, I would like to say a little less humble than I am, but what you lack, life gives you in one way or another. And the lessons you refuse to learn, you learn the hard way. And I have learned many, 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 many things the hard way since then. I think now I'm joining Universal Woman with more of a curiosity instead of an urge to be recognized. I was coming from a different place in 2016. I wanted to prove something. What that is, I don't know necessarily. I wanted to know if people thought I was beautiful, if young girls think they see themselves reflected in me, and now I think I'm coming from a more genuine place. I think I'm striving to represent the values that I want to see in little girls everywhere. I have two sisters, both very, very different from me, but both I love very dearly, and I would not want to see a world where they get compared to me, because they excel in their own right. My younger sister is a medical student studying to be a doctor at the Cebu Institute of Medicine, and my youngest sister is currently in Ateneo de Manila pursuing her dream of becoming a hotelier. I think that she will follow after National Director Cleo, and I certainly hope so. I like to think that I encourage my sisters to be brave and to be themselves. And perhaps within the last 8 years, that's something that I've had to learn. I had to learn to be my own older sister. So I'm very different. Thank you. That other girl, she's dead. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
I can confirm to that. Yes, just upon fact, we were batchmates back in Binibini, and I truly can attest the involvement that you have gone through. And again, I'm very excited how,
Not just us. I would like to really just congratulate our batchmates.